actually been recording for like 2 minutes and kind of forgot to talk. So, we're talking now. Today's video, it's kind of funny because this could be like 2 videos depending on how much I ramble here. So we'll see. But the main point of this video is that I quit my job and why I did. And the other part of the video that I could either put into this or make into its own video is also heavily related, but still somewhat a different topic, if that makes sense. If I start explaining it would make more sense, but yeah, so yesterday was actually my last day at work. Can't tell what's happening here. This guy just stopped. I guess he's just stopped. Turn up here. So basically, I'm actually dropping some stuff off at the UPS, which is literally right up here. So I'm gonna do this first, and then I'll kind of get back to the point of the video. Oh my God, it's GTO Joe. Look at him. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, we got that stuff returned now. Alright, now we can get a move on here. So, like I was trying to say before I distracted myself, I quit my job. My last day was yesterday. And there's definitely a few reasons I quit. Obviously there's reasons, but one of the first reasons I quit, I've already kind of talked about in a previous video, so I'll just kind of, give the perspective and the talk as if whoever's watching this has no idea. So let me just give full context here. For the last about 3.5 years, I worked for a major phone company here in town, and I was just like a salesperson, like selling the phones, selling the plans and shit. I've been doing that for 3 years, and for the longest time I thought I liked it. I thought it was like a nice, easy career path because it didn't require any kind of education. They don't give a shit if I have like a college degree. Like, that doesn't really matter. So because of that, it was easy. And when I first started working there, it was like right after I turned 18, within the first like few months. And I used to work at a fast food place, Wendy's, before that. And it's pretty obvious why I quit working there. I mean, fast food absolutely sucks. I pretty much only worked there while I was 16. Like, that was the only reason I was working there, is because I really couldn't get a job at a better place. So after I turned 18, I actually became a shift lead there at the Wendy's for like 2 months. Like right after my birthday, I became a shift lead. But that shit sucked. It was like, an extra $1 an hour for, like 50% more work. It was too much. So I had to get out of there. So I got this job at the phone company. And the thing that was nice about it at first was, so I made minimum wage plus commission. And one of the main reasons I even applied there in the first place, and one of my favorite things about working there for a while, was that because it was commission-based, like, I always had minimum wage, right? Which was, what I was getting paid before at Wendy's, basically. So I was getting paid the same plus commission. So it kind of felt like I could control how much money I made, if you just put in enough effort. And so that job worked pretty good for a long time. And I really thought that I enjoyed the job. I thought that it was a good job for me. But the more and more that I worked the job, I became good enough where I felt like I could become a manager. So I worked there for more than enough time to become a manager, and I thought for a while that the only reason I hadn't become a manager, oh, that was a cat, that sucks. But you know, I thought that the only reason I wasn't becoming a manager is because I'd have to start getting a commute. And I mean, my salary as a manager would basically have been what I was making after commission plus more commission on top of that, is essentially what it would have been. So it would have been a nice pay bump, but I would have had to start driving out of town for the job. And I honestly, in my mind, I thought that I was just being lazy. But at one point, like and another part that goes into the story was smoking, doing the, you know, little ganja. I did that for like 2-3 years straight. Like, so basically the whole time I was working there, in all honesty. And I thought that it was a good thing for me, but looking back, like, my life has been so much better since I stopped doing it. I honestly just don't think I realized how lazy it was making me, and it was like, it was almost like it was putting like a block on me mentally. I don't really know how to explain it. Maybe some people understand. If you don't, that's fine. Like, it's something, it's, you know, works great for a lot of people. I just think I got to the point where it wasn't working for me, so I stopped. And look at this. No, nice ride. So there was always something that was just kind of holding me back. And the whole time I thought that it was just me being lazy. But ever since I stopped smoking, like these last few months, I kind of realized I actually hate the job. And in the back of my mind, I always kind of knew that, but I just didn't realize it. And the only real thing that was keeping me there was just the people that I worked with. You know, I worked with some really good people there. You know, most of them are people I'm gonna stay in contact with now that we're not working together. But that was probably the biggest factor. Was the people. I worked with some really amazing people, and some of them watching. I don't really like advertise that I started YouTube recently, but you can find my videos. They're not like hidden or anything. But if anyone who's watching this was working with me, with the exception of one person, all of you guys watching know how much I love you guys. They're just great people. They're great people I was with. And I thought that it was the laziness aspect, and that was definitely a part of it. Because I didn't really do too much. Like, you know, I got so used to doing everything that it really just became easy. It was like kind of just another day. And I wasn't like, I didn't have the drive to really improve myself there. Which is not the kind of person I am. I am a always improve kind of person. And in the back of my mind, I was like, oh yeah, like, I'm going to become a manager one day. That's going to be the goal. But it wasn't happening. And like I said, I thought it was because I was being lazy, but I kind of realized recently, I hate the job. The job itself sucks. I hate dealing with people and people's stupid issues. The company itself, not like I didn't work for like the corporate version of the company. It was like an authorized dealer. And like that company themselves, there's not really a problem with like the dealer that I worked for specifically. It's really just the phone company as a whole. Like there's so many times where, like, just as an example, one that would piss me off all the time was we would do a transaction and everything would be totally legit. Like the person is just like some like family, like trying to get phones. And every once in a while it would need us to call in and ask for further verification, which means we called up like our corporate like fraud department. And when we did that, a lot of the time people would just get through no problems, but a lot of the the times they wouldn't even ask any questions to these people. They would just straight up deny them for basically no reason. They could never tell us the reason that people were being denied, no matter what. They always just had to say, like, oh, I'm sorry, we can't provide any further information, which I get, and I know that they're just doing their jobs, but, like, they're off the phone, and 5 seconds after that, I have to sit there and tell the customer that, yeah, so, the fraud department denied our transaction. Oh, yeah, sir, do you know why? Nope. But you're gonna ask me, because I'm still sitting here in front of you after the phone call's off. And, I mean, one that I just had a few days ago, after I'd already put in, like, my 2 weeks notice, this guy got, like, 5 phones from us. They did have to call into the fraud department, and they verified it. No issues, right? A day or two later, this guy comes back, and his son's phone and his daughter's phone were the phones that we gave him. Even though he said they were fine, his son and daughter actually needed more storage. So they needed more storage. So it's like, okay, well, let's process an exchange then, right? That's how it works. So I'm taking their phone. We have to, like, wipe all the information off of it, and I'm going through the process for the exchange, and I get right about to the end, and it tells us to call the fraud department. I'm like, okay, that's weird. But, you know, this is an exchange. This isn't even, like, technically a sale. Like, this guy already got approved. He got set up. So I have to call this fucking fraud department. So it tells me to call the fraud department. And so I call the fraud department. They sit on the phone and jerk me off for, like, fucking 10 minutes. And they don't even ask the customer any questions. They literally just get on the phone after about 10-15 minutes of silence. And they basically just tell me to fuck off. They're like, yeah, I'm sorry, sir, we can't approve the transaction. There's no given reason why. So this guy, you're trying to tell me that this guy comes into our store, he buys 5 phones, and even though it's his fault, it's his fault that he got the wrong storage size, because we had asked him about it. When we try to return the phone, it tells him no for fraudulent reasons when he's already purchased 5 devices. So what? So the guy's just stuck with this phone? And I'm honestly just as confused as a guy, because, like, shit like this happens, but it's still kind of rare. Like in this scenario, I've never actually had somebody denied for an exchange. Actually, no, it's a lie, I have, but I don't really remember it too much. I don't remember the whole story, so there's no point in telling it. But this one is very recent. And it's like, okay, so is this guy, like, what is he supposed to do? So I already kind of know that I basically just have to tell him to fuck off and, like, try to go to another location or call, like, the customer service people. But I ask her just for her advice, like, what she thinks. And, I mean, she kind of just tells me what I was already thinking, you know, like, you know, the best thing to do is to call the customer service people and have them try to do it. Which, like, doesn't even make any sense. Like, I had this guy in the store, I scan his driver's license in, like, it's the guy, it's him, we know it's him, there's not an issue, and the system will deny it for us, but then there's somehow a possibility that this guy could call in and get it verified over the phone, which doesn't even make any sense in the first place, because there's no real way to, like, fully verify somebody on the phone. Like, they have methods of, like, scanning a driver's license. Like, it'll have, like, the customer, like, upload, like a picture of the front and back, which, like, I mean, I guess is good. That's kind of the same thing that we do, but I don't know. It's very stupid. And so he comes back the next day, and he's like, yeah, so they were able to do my daughter's, but they told me to come back to the store for my son's phone. And it's like, okay, well, we already, like, I know he's just as confused. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. This is all new to him. I get it. But it doesn't make any sense to go back, because we already got denied for trying to do it. So my boss is here this day, so she tries to do it, and it's the same fucking story. This guy gets denied for it. And, you know, like I said, this happened after I'd already put in my 2 weeks notice, but shit like that is common. And it's so fucking dumb. That shit would piss me off so much. And in all honesty, man, I'm sure a lot of people watching this can relate. But I fucking hate people, dude. People suck. Like, I mean, there are some, like, nice people out there, and, I met a lot of them. But, dude, a lot of people are just fucking assholes and retards, dude. Like, I'd have people come in all the time, and they would, like, purchase their phone online. And keep in mind, like I said, I'm commission-based, right? So, like, when I sell somebody a phone and they need help setting it up, it makes absolutely 100% perfect sense that I would help them set up the phone because I was the one that sold them the phone, right? And I'm making money off of it. So that makes sense. But sometimes people would come in and they got a phone, like, ordered at a whole nother store, or I'm in third gear right now. I thought it was first. But nothing's like irritating more as like being commission based and somebody comes in like with a phone that they bought somewhere else asking for our help. And I mean, to some people like that are just casually watching, like, you might not think it's that big of a deal, and it's really not. But like, when you make money off of selling these phones and you help somebody set them up, it's your customer, right? It makes sense that you help them out. But dude, like, you're a grown-ass man. Like, I'll have fucking 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds coming in. Like, bro, YouTube fucking exists. You can Google how to set up an iPhone or how to transfer your stuff from an iPhone to another iPhone on Google and figure it out in about 30 fucking seconds. Like, and this is saying this, like, I'm not just saying this because I work here and I know how to do this stuff. I'm saying this because when I was 12 years old, or like 13 or 14 years old, whatever, when my parents got me their first phone, my dad ordered it online from whatever phone carrier we had at the time. It came in. Shit, he didn't even help me set it up, man. I set up the phone myself. I was about age 12, I got an iPhone 5. And then at some point, when I was like 15, almost 16, I had kept my iPhone in like perfect condition. And so because of that, and because I was only one of my siblings that did that, my mom wanted to get like a new Google Pixel at the time, was the newest phone, and she really wanted to get one. And I think it was like T-Mobile or Verizon, whoever we had at the time. They were doing like a deal where it was like a buy one get one free kind of situation. So my mom was like, all right, well, since you're the most responsible, I want to get this phone. Let's, you can get the extra one. So I did it. And we actually like went into the store and everything. I'm like, oh, do you want help setting it up? I'm like, hell no, I don't. It's my phone. I want to set up my phone. But like, being in the store, like, more than 95% of people that get their phones just play dumb, dude. Like fucking dogs. Like, they have no idea how to set up a phone. And like, I mean, I get it if when people are like, elderly, right? Like a 65-year-old woman comes in and, I feel absolutely obligated to help elderly people set up phones. It just makes sense. Like, the technology is very new to them. They didn't grow up with it. I totally feel fine helping them set up phones. But there's just always something that kind of irritates me about grown people, especially around like my age or a little bit older, that grew up with this technology that act like they have no idea how to use it. But yeah, that right there, like, just dealing with people's dumb issues. I mean, I have like 100 more stories I could get into. But dealing with that type of shit was just so infuriating, and it kind of just built up over the years of being there. But yeah, I'm on to better things now. In the near future, like, I'm really just taking a break right now, to be honest. I've been working since the month I turned 16, and now I'm 21. Like 5 months away from turning 22, and I'm just ready for a break for a little bit, man. I'm gonna get a grant. I'm gonna start going to CDL school, and and I got a grant for the school. I just have to kind of wait for it to all be processed, and it's going to take about like a month, my lady was saying, to do it. So I'm going to wait for this grant to be processed, and then I'll start going to the school. And yeah, we'll kind of figure it out from there. But for now, I'm taking a much needed break. Hopefully this means I'm going to end up making more videos. I actually am probably going to record a second video today while I'm out. Let's just chill here for a second. So, I'm off work for probably like a month, maybe a month and a half. After about a month and a half, we'll end up going to the CDL school because that's what I want to do. And hopefully just get a job pretty quickly from there. I know the school that I'm working with is one of the best in the state. I mean, they work with job companies, so it's going to end up hindsight, or not hindsight 2020, what's the right word? You know, I'm thinking positively. I'll have a job pretty soon after that. I got enough money to pay bills for a few months if I need to, but that's not really going to be necessary. I got time. I got money. I'm not really stressing about it. I'm just going to try to relax for a little while. And then after I'm done relaxing, I'm going to fucking work my ass off. That's what I'm going to end up doing. But anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. I don't even know how long this video is going to be, but my second reason for why I quit, another big reason, is going to end up being a separate video, because my next topic on this could take like another 15-20 minutes to explain. So yeah, but thanks everybody for watching. Keep tuning in the videos. I really appreciate the love I've been getting and the amount of views. This channel, I didn't expect anything to really happen with it. I was just hoping for stuff to happen, but things are already moving a lot faster than I expected. So especially anybody who stuck to the end of this video, man, I really appreciate it. Everybody have a good rest of your day, good rest of your night. Peace.